Hi, my name is Chifonne David. I'm originally from the United States, but for the last 5 years, I've been living in the UK working with an organization called Youth with a Mission, or YWAM, as it's affectionately known. YWAM is a global missions movement, and our purpose is to know God and make Him known. And in that spirit, I'd love to just share with you a little bit today from a passage of scripture that is meaningful, not just to me, but to Christians all over the world throughout history, and that is Psalm 23. Now, Psalm 23 discusses the reality of Jesus as a shepherd, and there's so much that is implicit to David as a shepherd as he writes this. So many facts and pieces of what it means to be a shepherd that he would know and understand. But for us in our context today, unless you happen to be a shepherd, it might not be so clear. And I've loved being able to just look a little bit more deeply into what Jesus as a shepherd actually means in the way that David would have understood this as he wrote it. So let's go ahead and take a look at Psalm 23, verses 1 through 3. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. The analogy of sheep was something that was so much more to David than just sheep. It was something he was intimately acquainted with. David was a shepherd, so he knew full well that a shepherd loves and cares for the sheep, that a shepherd is devoted to the sheep, that a shepherd will do everything possible to make sure that that sheep, that flock, is flourishing. And with this in mind, we take a look at Jesus as a shepherd. When I consider what these words would have meant for David, it's really encouraging to me. It's actually a beautiful picture. And there are 3 specific ways that David mentions God's shepherding care for us just in these verses. Okay, so he begins with, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. So right away, he has established that the Lord is a good shepherd who provides everything his sheep need. We have everything we need. And then he moves into these 3 specific ways that God cares for us. One is rest. He says, he makes me lie down in green pastures. Did you know that a sheep will actually not lie down unless they feel completely safe? This is because when a sheep is laying down, I suppose, it's a position of vulnerability. If a predator were to come or something were to happen, it's going to take the sheep a little more time to stand up and to run away. And if you've ever observed sheep, you might notice this. It actually looks a little bit funny when they try to stand up. It takes them a minute. And so this is a picture of the rest and the security that can be found in Jesus as our shepherd. He brings us to a beautiful green pasture and causes us to feel that peace and security on the inside where we can take a true rest. And actually, if we look at Matthew 11:28, we see Jesus giving this invitation, right? Another beloved scripture, well known. He says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy burdened, and I will give you rest." I wonder if today there might be an invitation in this for you as well. Are you tired? Are you worn out? Are you feeling a need for rest? Maybe Jesus is saying to you today, come to me. I have rest for you. The second way that God cares for us as a shepherd in these verses is with refreshing. David says, he leads me beside still waters. This is symbolic of the refreshing that comes when we can finally take a drink. Have you ever just been so thirsty, maybe on a hot day, and you're like panting, you're starving for water? This gives us the picture of Jesus guiding us to the place where we can take that refreshing drink. And actually, if we take a look at Psalm 42, verse 12, there's another picture of this same thing. It says, "As the deer pants for the water, so my soul thirsts for God." And there's a question in this as well for you today. Are you thirsty? You know, life the last couple of years, it's been a little bit crazy, right? And I don't know about you, but I find myself more and more these days needing another drink. And what I mean by that is not what you think. I mean, I need another drink of God's presence. I need to go back to Jesus. Again, that invitation, come to me. I will give you rest. Do you need a drink today of the presence of God? There's an invitation there. Come to Jesus. But the third way that I want to look at that Jesus cares for us as a shepherd is that he restores our souls. And this is something that has been very dear to me over the last couple of years. You know, the COVID crisis, the wars, all of the things that we've all walked through, it takes a toll on your soul. And I know that we're all at a place now where we'd probably rather kind of just move on and, you know, maybe let the past be in the past and life is good again, yay. But the reality is it's not that simple. It's been a wearying time. It's been a struggle. But there's a promise here that Jesus restores our soul. I think if we're honest right now, we can probably say our capacity is low and maybe things don't quite feel right on the inside. But I want to take a look at Psalm 103. It's another psalm where David speaks of the soul. And it's really beautiful what it says. It says, Psalm 103, beginning in verse 1, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits, who forgives all your iniquity, who heals all your diseases, who redeems your life from the pit, who crowns you with steadfast love and mercy, who satisfies you with good, so that your strength is renewed like the eagles." I want to just zone in on this one little snippet. It says, "Bless the Lord, O my soul." It goes on to say, "who heals all your diseases." Now remember, David is speaking to his soul. He is speaking to his soul when he says, "Hey soul, bless the Lord, he heals your diseases." Now, that might be a strange thing to consider, a disease of the soul. I mean, most of the time when we talk about disease, we're talking about things like cancer or COVID or like these really big things, right? But how could somebody have disease in their soul? But think for a moment about just that word, dis-ease. Oh, okay. If we think about it literally, it just means a lack of ease in your soul. Is there any dis-ease in your soul today? Actually, the amazing thing is that Jesus can heal the dis-ease, the lack of ease that we find in our souls in troubled times. Friends, I want to remind you today that you have a shepherd, that he is present and attentive to your needs, and that he's aware of where you are today and what your soul needs. And he promises to give rest and refreshing and restoration to your soul. So just remember the invitation of Jesus today. Come to me. I will give you rest. Be encouraged, friends. God is with you.